Hi everyone, welcome to Free Handling Made You, my autistic life. My name's DC, and you're with me here in Texas right now. I wanted to do a quick video. My parents are at another appointment for my dad, and so I wanted to do this quick video while they're not here. As you guys could see, for those of you that got to see the picture, I finished my dad's blanket. This is my dad's blanket. You won't be able to see all of it, but you'll get the gist. It's just a granny stitch square blanket. That's all it is. There's no pattern. You just do the granny stitch. So if you don't know what a granny stitch looks like, just Google granny stitch. And I started with a typical middle, granny stitch middle, and I just did rounds until I got it to the size that I wanted. It's a small throw size. The yarn that I used, just so you guys know, the variegated yarn that I used, this yarn right here, you'll see I used more of this yarn than the solid color. So between each solid color is a round of this color, and it is Impeccable by Loops and Threads, and the color is called Indigo. It had let's see, it had 179 yards per skein. I used just over 3 skeins. I barely used any of the fourth skein, so I pretty much have 95% of the fourth skein still left, and I have a 5th skein at the house that I didn't have to touch, that I can use and make something with, probably beanies for the school. And then the white is Big Twist. The gray is a Heather Gray by Big Twist, which you can't get anymore. I got it on clearance for 97 cents when they were getting rid of that. It's a discontinued color and you can't get it anymore. I got it my first year. All these yarns I bought like my first year and a half of crocheting, and I totally forgot about them. And when I was trying to hurriedly make my dad a blanket, I'm like, let me see what colors I have in my cabinet. And I knew I had a lot of Big Twists left over, especially in the blue tones. But I totally forgot I had that Impeccable yarn. It was in a bag, in a box, that I hadn't unpacked yet. From a sale that I had hit at Michael's. I just was in Michael's just browsing one day. I'm like, oh my gosh, this yarn is on sale for like 50 cents. And I grabbed all 5 skeins that were left of the Indigo variegated blue, which you can't get that blue anymore, by the way, you guys. It's discontinued. So the Heather Gray was Big Twist, and I don't have the wraps with me, you guys, so I can't even tell you the yardage on that. But I didn't even use a full yard of that gray. Not even a full yard, not even half of it. So I have a ton of gray left, which I saved that Heather Gray yarn for my mother's raccoon. And so I'll have plenty of gray left for my mother's raccoon. So Heather Gray by Big Twist, white by Big Twist. And then the blue is Varsity Blue by Big Twist. Varsity Blue you can still get. It's in the Varsity Blue really looks more like a royal blue. And all the yardage, and they were all Big Twist value, by the way, and they're all the same yardage. And I want to say Big Twist yarn, I want to say it's 280 yards per skein, but I could be wrong. You guys don't quote me, because like I said, I don't have the wraps with me. They're at the house in Montana. So I finished this, and what I did was, because the yarn had been sitting down in my craft room for so long, and most of the yarn was up in the cabinet, once I got done making it, I washed it for my dad, and it felt scratchy. It still felt scratchy for whatever reason. Acrylic yarn usually feels scratchy when you use it, but if you wash it, it softens right up. So what I did was I took the advice of several of you from way back in the day, and I washed this with white vinegar. I couldn't soak it though, you guys. My mom doesn't have a soaking cycle. So what I did was I put regular soap, my dad's special soap that he has to use for his clothes. I put that special soap in the wash, and then I put some white vinegar in the softener compartment, and that worked. So this got softened up with white vinegar, and it really made it feel soft. I washed it in cold water, and then I dried it on low, not on delicate. I actually dried it on low, and it softened right up. It's really kind of silky feeling, but it's really nice and snuggly. So that's that. The last thing I want to show you is my WIP. This is a shout out to my friend Sanita Makes Crochet Items. I will tag her in this video, and I will include a tutorial on her Bursts of Kindness crown video. And it's just the crown. The pattern is the crown. And you guys, you always have to give credit to the designer when you do things, okay? Even if the design is only what you're making and the design you're using is only partial part of your project, you still need to give credit, all right? It's just appropriate, and it's the right thing to do. So I learned the Burst of Kindness crown from Sanita a while ago, and I wrote her pattern out for my use only, so I wouldn't have to keep watching the video over and over again. And I knew that, you know, when I'm traveling, I can't always get the internet, but I can get to my files on my computer, and so that's why I did it. And so I'm glad I did that, by the way, because I tried to do it by memory, but I got so much going on here, you guys. I couldn't bring it. I knew I was missing something, and so I had to pull my file out of my computer, and sure enough, I was missing all kinds of stuff, Sanita. My brain's not functioning, you guys. It just isn't. Well, it's functioning, but it's functioning on crisis mode. And if you've ever had to function on crisis mode, you know what happens to your brain. Anyway, so I started with her Burst of Kindness crown. Give you guys a close look. Isn't that beautiful, Sanita? I love this pattern. And Sanita, I want you to know, the Burst of Kindness crown is absolutely 100% perfect for cancer beanies, chemo caps, chemo hats, chemo beanies, whatever you want to label it. It's perfect, and I'm going to show you guys why. Because it gives your beanie texture, but on the inside it's totally flat. There's no ridges. It's totally flat, which is important. You don't want ridges being on the inside of your hat, because that's the part that hits their scalp. Most people who get chemo and radiation at the same time, they lose their hair. They lose their hair, and their skin is like really super sensitive. All right, so I'm using the Burst of Kindness crown, and then I'm just probably going to do a very simple, I think what I want to do with this one, I think I want to do a simple herringbone, a couple of rows of herringbone. And then I'm going to do a couple of rows of front post, back post. No, I may just do front post, actually. I don't want this beanie to be too... Honestly, I may just do herringbone, and I'm going to tell you guys why. I don't want this beanie to be too thick, because it is a 4-weight, and it's 100% polyester. My parents keep this house really, really warm. However... my dad is actually going to be wearing this during chemo treatment, and they keep that office very, very, very cold in there, which is why I bought him, that's why I made him a chemo blanket. And a chemo blanket is just an extra small throw. It's not meant to fit their whole body. It's just to lap across them or wrap across their shoulders if they get cold during chemo treatment. My dad lives in Texas though, so that's why I did the granny stitch, because the granny stitch is very airy, and even though this is a 4-weight yarn, it's not heavy. I don't know if that makes any sense. I want to do the same thing for my dad's chemo beanie, because they do live in Texas, and yes, North Texas does get cold. It does. However, my parents they keep their house really, very warm. So more than likely, what's going to happen is my dad will wear his chemo beanie to chemo, but then when he gets home, he'll either not wear anything on his head, or he'll wear his one of his baseball caps that he loves to cover his head, so it doesn't. My mom's having a hard time, you guys. Just please pray for my mother. She's just a wreck. I mean, she's hanging in there, but she's just, y'all, she's so stressed out. And she loves my dad's longer. My mom says his hair's long. His hair's not long. My husband's hair is long. My husband's hair is as long as mine. But you know, he keeps his hair. He doesn't keep it in a buzz cut, is what I'm saying. And he's gonna be bald, and so it's messing with my mom's head. So my dad will probably wear his baseball caps inside the house, and then he'll use this for his chemo treatments. I'm gonna make him two so he can switch them out each day. Let me tell you why I chose this yarn. This feels like butter. One, I chose it because it's super squishy, super soft. It's like silky soft, and you want it silky soft, and it's a breathable fabric. Cotton or polyester is a good fabric to use. I also like polyester because it's machine washable, it's machine dryable. You don't have to worry about what temperature you wash this on. She can throw this beanie in with the rest of my dad's clothes. My dad's going to be wearing nothing but sweatpants and t-shirts or sweatshirts while he's going through this process. So she can throw this right in there with them. And that's important because when you're on chemo, your caretaker has to use gloves when they wash your clothes, when they pick the clothes up from the hamper and they put it into the washer, because when your body sweats, my dad's body's gonna be sweating out that chemo, and my mom can't get that on their hands. This is one of the they took a class on this, so my mom would know how to take care of my dad's clothing and stuff. So I had to make sure that this yarn was 100% super easy to take care of. Just something she can throw in the wash and throw in the dryer. Another reason why I like polyester is it doesn't shrink like cotton does. So my mom doesn't have to worry about shrinkage with my dad's hat. So that's why I went with polyester. And I went with the Bursts of Kindness beanie because it's a nice flat texture on the inside. And frankly, I love the Bursts of Kindness beanie. I just love it. It's beautiful. I love the bursts. And as the crown gets a little bit bigger, the more you can see that burst. And then I love the extended crochet stitch that Sunita used to make that burst. And I'm also going to use the extended crochet for the brim of my dad's hat. So that's that. And I won't do a video on the hat, you guys, because you guys have seen me do so many of these. It's ridiculous. But, you know, I'll probably just post a little picture on my community tab of the hat when it's finished. So yeah, so that's it. That's what I'm working on. I'm going to be making this while my parents are at their appointment. You know, I'm going to make some chicken salad for my mama so she can have some chicken salad wraps. I want her to eat a little bit more. My mom did eat dinner with us last night. That made me happy. And I just made us some fish sticks and a couple of veggies, you know. And I made my Uncle Vincent and I a baked potato to go with the fish sticks. But yeah, so that's it. We're hanging in here over here. I appreciate you guys' prayers. I specifically really want you to pray heavily on my mother right now. And my father, obviously, but y'all, my mother is struggling and she's very stressed out. And my mother's a strong woman. She really is. But when you've been with your loved one that you love, your life partner, what she considers her soulmate. She's been with my daddy since she was 16 years old. 16, you guys. I think she's 70 now. Yeah, she's 70. She's been with my dad since she was 16. My dad's 73. You do the math. It's a long time to be with somebody and to have to sit there and know that their condition is terminal and you're having to watch them not feel well, and you know that you're literally on borrowed time. It's crushing. It's crushing to the heart. It's crushing to the soul. Mentally and emotionally and physically, it's taken a toll on my mother. And I need y'all to pray for my mom, please. I'm losing one parent. I'm not ready to lose two parents. Okay, you hear what I'm saying? So just I mean, her heart's breaking. So please just pray for my mother, please, please. Anyway, I hate trying to cry on this video. As for me, you guys, I'm hanging in there. I am. I'm being very strong for my mother right now. I have my uncle here with me, which makes this so much easier. My uncle is just, he's just wonderful. And he's going to be with my mother and my father until, well, for a long time. He's going to get them through this. So, my brother is supposed to be here tomorrow. He can only stay a day though, because unfortunately he has to be back at work on Saturday. They've got something very special going on in the plant that he works at, and he has to be there. So he'll be here tomorrow night, and then he has to leave, I think probably after lunch, tomorrow afternoon to head back. And then I think my youngest daughter is flying in today. I don't know if you guys heard, but Florida had tornadoes yesterday. Tallahassee was one of the areas affected, and the storm was so bad that they had to close down the airport. So there's some people that missed their flights that might have to take their flights today. So I'm praying that my daughter is coming today and she's able to get a seat. If not, she may not be here till tomorrow. So please pray for safety, a safe trip for my daughter and for my brother, as they both head their way over here. Yeah, and then the last thing I want to ask you guys to do is please pray over my sister-in-law Gail, because as you guys know, my brother and I have spouses and they're being strong for us. So Gail and my husband, Mr. Handsome, they also need your prayers, because my brother and I are going to be going through a lot of emotions, and we're going to need them strong for us, to help us through all of this as well, and to help us with our worries about both our parents. So please keep my sister-in-law Gail in your prayers, and please keep my husband, Mr. Handsome. By the way, for those of you who don't know, Mr. Handsome name is Sean. So I know it'd be weird to pray to God for Mr. Handsome. So when you pray, you can call him Sean. So please pray for my husband, Sean. And then Gail, my sister-in-law. I know my sister-in-law has been wonderful to my brother. She's always wonderful to my brother. She treats my brother like he's a king. My brother's such a brat. I say that with love. My brother calls me a brat, so it's fine. It's what we do. No, but she is so good to my brother, you guys. She's just, she's good for my brother, and she loves my brother. She really does. And I know she's lost a parent, so she knows exactly how this feels. And so I know my brother's in good hands, but I just need you to pray for her too, because she's going to need that a little extra strength too, so she can be there for my brother in a way that my brother needs. And I've been feeling y'all's prayers. I have, and I know my mom and my dad have been feeling y'all's prayers. I want to just thank you guys so much for all your wonderful comments on the few videos that I've done. I've gotten a lot of wonderful, beautiful messages from you guys. Thank you so much for that. Those little quick little messages mean a lot. They do. They kind of help. They feel supportive, and I just want to let you know that it's not going unnoticed. And I'm literally reading every single one of them, and it kind of gives me that little drink of strength, if that makes any sense. So I gotta go, y'all. I slept in today. I was really tired, and I slept in today, and I've got to get out there and make my uncle and I some breakfast. And then I gotta clean our dishes up, and then I want to make my mom her chicken salad, and then I want to get working on this beanie. I need to get this beanie done hopefully by tonight, before tomorrow, because tomorrow is my dad's first radiation treatment. I don't think he's going to be able to wear this during radiation treatment, because they're doing radiation treatment on his head for the brain cancer. He's getting radiation treatment on his shoulder and on his hip for a cancer spot on his shoulder and a cancer spot in his hip. Thursday and Friday, he goes for his radiation treatment, his first 2 radiation treatments for those 2 things. Also, my dad's having a hard time swallowing. They think he might have thrush in his esophagus, so he's on medication for that, and that's why he's not eating solid food. You guys, I'm sorry, I got the hiccups. That's why he's not been able to eat solid food. My dad has got to be able to eat solid food, you guys. They told him that. So please pray that his throat heals so he can swallow and so he can start eating some solid food. My father is very, very, very weak right now because he hasn't been able to eat solid food in a full week. So please pray over that. I think that's it. I think I covered everything. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. I will see you guys again very soon. Probably it won't be until I get back from Texas. I may hit some YouTube lives very sporadically here and there. But for the most part, you guys aren't going to see me on YouTube, and I'm sure you guys understand. So I love you guys. Take care. Always remember, dare to be you, dare to be different. Love from Texas. Bye, everybody.